Chip, 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 chip. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw. Steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off. Get it hype, this man, our sport talk. Yeah, yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman. Everybody bringing heat. You don't really want to try them. Hey, hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest. Nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour. Sport Talk. Man Hour. Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? Let's go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? A little technical difficulties on my side, but we are live and we are raw, and this is uncut NFL talk every Monday through Friday at 2:30 East Coast time right here on the old YouTubes and, of course, Facebook.com. As we continue our trek across the NFC South, we have broken down the Atlanta Falcons. We have broken down the New Orleans Saints. We have broken down the Atlanta Falcons, and today we get the final team to break down in this NFL offseason. Today we get the team to break down the team that many people have kind of pinged off and wrote off last season. I said, no, look at this team. Look out for Baker Mayfield. Look out for these boys. That's exactly who it is. It is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, guys, we're going to be talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers today. We got a lot of things popping today. But first, we have to do this. Come on. And now, Mike's thoughts. As we continue our trek across the NFC South, I got to talk about some things that have been kind of on my mind a little bit. We have to talk about things that I really, really like. We have to talk about things that, that many people overlook, but I'm like, hey, you need to worry about this, and that is joint practices. Yes, I understand that the preseason has cut us out of game, right? We used to have 4 preseason games, now we're down to 3. And now the preseason is pretty much a watered down version of what is helping guys is because the inter squad scrimmages, joint practices, and whatnot. This week, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The following week, we had the Buccaneers and the Miami Dolphins. We've had the Pittsburgh Steelers and forgot who they were with. But I want to tell you guys the importance of joint practices. The purpose of a joint practice is a controlled, competitive environment. Joint practices are more beneficial than preseason games. Joint practices are more beneficial than inter-squad scrimmages. Joint practices are better than OTAs and mini camps and everything else. You get an opportunity to do ones versus ones in a controlled environment and don't have to worry about too many injuries. You don't have to worry about this. You don't have to worry about that. You have to worry about putting the best product out on the field and getting yourself better, getting some film so you can improve. But many people are like, joint practices are a waste of time. Joint practices are dumb. This is stupid. That's stupid. Like, why? Why are they dumb? Why are they stupid? I'm intrigued. What are you guys' thoughts about joint practices? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Are you indifferent? Let me know. All right, guys. It is time to continue our trek across the NFC South. It is time to talk some Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But most importantly, we got to start off with way or no way of the day. If you guys are new here, every Thursday we do a segment called Way or No Way. Way, like I agree with it, or no way, like nah, I don't agree with it, dog. Get that out of here. But before we get into that, we have to welcome the man, the myth, the legend. We have to welcome the peanut butter to my ladies. We have to welcome the man that is a CFO of the Pigskin Pundits. Mr. John Peoples is in the chat. What's up, John? John, we had a nice little members-only stream at 9:30 East Coast time here this morning. It was nothing spectacular. I just got on and started ranting and raving about fast food. Like, it's not fast anymore. It's not even food. Like, what is going on? What is going on? But what is up, John? I had a little technical difficulties before the show started, so I don't know exactly what was going on, but my computer was acting weird, the internet was acting weird. Whatever. It is what it is. But if you guys are here, you feel free to drop a like, drop a share as well. If you're going to miss any part of the show whatsoever, we got podcast form. So shortly after this, the podcast form is out. But it is Thursday, guys, August 15th. My brand new niece was born early this morning at 3 a.m., I think, when I got the text. Layla, she is out there. She is out in the world. Congratulations to my sister. Had her first baby. My boys are excited to get another baby cousin. Let's go. But we got to talk about the elephant in the room. We have to talk about a thing that's been kind of on a lot of people's mind lately. We have to talk a thing, and that is the one and only Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick came out on a interview on a podcast earlier this week, and he said he thinks he can still lead a team to the playoffs. He still thinks he can lead a team to the Super Bowl. He thinks he can win a lot of NFL football games. But Jim Harbaugh, the coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, has come out and said that he has formally offered Colin Kaepernick a coaching position, to be a chance to be on the sideline, to be a part of the team, to be a part of something greater than just winning some football games. You know, a chance to mold young minds, a chance to lead the righteous path. So, guys, when we look at Colin Kaepernick, we have to ask the question: way or no way, do you think Colin Kaepernick would make a good NFL coach? So one thing that was good about Colin Kaepernick is he did kind of come out of nowhere. What was it? I believe it was Utah State where he went to college, right? Pretty much unknown. Let's just be honest. He was not a highly sought after first round draft pick or whatever, right? He just kind of found his way into the NFL, kind of much like Spencer Rattler, right? He had a spectacular first season when he came out, and he came in for a injured, was it Jimmy G? No, it was an injured Alex Smith. Injured Alex Smith. Ended up leading that team to the Super Bowl, ultimately lost that Super Bowl, but did lead a good Alex Smith-built team to the Super Bowl that particular year. Next year, he took the reins over starting quarterback, had a pretty good year, okay year, I guess you can say. Didn't fan out. Year after year after that, he got steadily worse and worse. And of course, we remember the infamous kneeling and sitting and, protests and Black Lives Matter and all that stuff, right? So, way or no way do you guys think Colin Kaepernick would make a good NFL coach? On the surface level, every time you hear the name Colin Kaepernick, you instantly think of controversy. You instantly think of suing the NFL for, quote, blackballing him, right? You instantly think of the not so good things about him as a person. Now, we personally do not know him as a person. We only see what the media portrays him as, and the media portrays him as, let's just be honest, a piece of shit, right? He had the opportunity to get back into the NFL. They were holding a tryout. Was it like Buccaneer Stadium or something like that? It was an NFL stadium. NFL hosted. All 32 teams were supposed to attend. Film crews were there. Last second, he's like, nah, I want to do it at a high school field. But only his people could film. And only his people could do this. And only his people could do that. I think only 2 teams showed up. Now, it does take a special person to be a coach at any level, whether it's flag football, whether it's middle school, college, NFL, high school, whatever. It takes a special person to be able to put in the long-ass hours that it takes to make somebody great. Now, I am not saying that I do not think Colin Kaepernick has that drive to do that, to hours of film study, hours of prepping, hours of analyzing film, analyzing this and analyzing that. How can I get better? How can they get better? What do we need? I'm not saying that he does not have that drive. He was in the NFL. He clearly has a drive to be great, right? He has a drive to persevere and be better than everybody else. He does have that desire. But every time we think of the name Colin Kaepernick, we think selflessness. We think that nobody is bigger than me. I am the greatest thing since sliced bread. I am this, and this. It's all about me, 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 me. And I don't think Colin Kaepernick could be a good NFL coach. Now, he might be a perfect high school coach. He might be a perfect Division II, Division III coach. Maybe earn your... what's the word I'm looking for? Earn your keep, earn your tenure, pop that cherry, right? And then maybe work your way up into the NFL ranks. But I'm going to go with no way on this. I do not think Colin Kaepernick would be a good NFL coach because he has the mindset that I can still play. I'm still better than 32 I'm still a top 32 NFL quarterback in this league. And if he were to go to coach to the LA Chargers, right now Justin Herbert is officially still injured, right? I think he has the plantar fasciitis. Is that how you say it? He is still out. He's not practicing. He is not playing, and basically he will not be ready until week 1. So the backup quarterback is Max Duggan and Easton Stick for the LA Chargers. Colin Kaepernick probably in the back of his mind saying, you know what? I'm going to come out here and be a coaching staff. I'm going to show these guys out, and I'm not going to help them out at all. I want to lever myself up. So the answer to that question is no way. I do not think Colin Kaepernick would be a good NFL coach. And come to think of it, he probably wouldn't be a good college coach either because he would want to outshine those college kids as well. Kind of reminds me of Coach Prime a little bit, right? It's all about me, 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 me. Talk about me. Talk about I. Talk about number 1 on my green mile. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Casey Morgan's in the chat. 3-year anniversary follower. Thank you, Casey, for all the love, man. Also a top fan. He says, no way. Casey says, no way. No way, he says. Hisamaguak says, hello, my friend. Do you like cricket? I don't know what the hell cricket is. Is it cricket like baseball with like a big old paddleboard? I don't know. Mark D's in the chat. What's up, Mark? He says, check out the NFL expert shows tomorrow, this week. Check it out, he says. NFL experts, you all want to be experts, but you guys can't expert on getting a day right. You guys better figure yourselves out real quick. You're supposed to be on last night, on Wednesdays at 7 p.m., but now you want to go Fridays. Now you want to go Sundays. Do I need to start calling you Combsy? Never know what day you're going to happen. But yeah, guys, check out the NFL experts. Mark and Wayne do really good work over there. John People says high school players would hate him. So, John, as a high school coach, right? The best thing you can do as a high school coach is connect with players, right? Connect with players on a personal level. Because if you can connect to them, hey, we're friends. I care about you. I love you. I want you to do better. I want you to excel. When you chew their asses out for not knowing what a double nasty is, Gunner Poor, and I fire your ass day before the game day, and then I bring you back four plays later, and you make a great play, just know that it's tough love, right? And John, I would tend to think that Colin Kaepernick would have the respect of said players, but it would have to be at a predominantly black high school, right? It would have to be one of those inner city schools where you see a lot of the big athletes come from, right? They come from tough neighborhoods, they come from tough homes, whatever, right? If he were to come to a place like a private school like St. X or Trinity or IMG, right? He would definitely not have that respect, and I think people would kind of resent him a little bit, right? But it would be a certain type of high school that he would have to go to, and he would definitely it would take all summer to earn their respect. John also says they would play harder if they like you. Exactly. I have kids that me and them do not see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I respect them. They respect me, and they would run through a wall for me. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or pat myself on the back, but you are right, John. If people like you, they play harder for you. He also said, you said it earlier to me. What players said in high school players? That is true. I actually had to fire a kid. I actually kicked him off of my team on Tuesday because he was all about me. I'm like, you are not bigger than the team. Get out of here. I don't care if you are the best running back in the state of Indiana. Get out of here. I don't want you. We're actually playing against him on Friday. But it is what it is. But guys, where no way do you think Colin Kaepernick would be a great NFL coach or a decent NFL coach? Whether it be position coach, offensive coordinator, something. Let me know what you think. Next, where no way on the day, we haven't talked about the Kansas City Chiefs in a long time. We have not really dove down and talked about the Kansas City Chiefs. And there's spiderwebs all over the place. The one of the biggest things about the Kansas City Chiefs right now is the injury bug that is going through the wide receiver room. Marquise Hollywood Brown went down last preseason game number 1, very first play of the game. He got the ball, he stretched out, he caught it, hit the ground pretty hard, dislocated that shoulder. It is said that he will be out for at least 3 to 4 weeks and will probably miss opening week versus the Baltimore Ravens. So with that being said, guys, one of the biggest issues for the Kansas City Chiefs last season was the receiver room. They were young. They were inexperienced. They kept dropping passes. They didn't really develop till really later in the year when Rashid Rice kind of separated himself from the rest of the room. So we got to ask the question, guys, way or no way do the Kansas City Chiefs have a top 10 receiving room in the NFL? The whole room, receivers only, not counting tight ends. The Kansas City Chiefs room looks pretty thin. Let's just be honest. Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy are kind of the big prolific names right now. Hollywood Brown is out to be determined when he's going to come in, right? Justin Watson is still there. Sky Moore is still there, the rookie from last season. Justin Ross, McCole Hardman, and Kadarius Toney. This receiving core on the surface does not scare me whatsoever. If I'm the Baltimore Ravens, if I'm the Raiders, if I'm the Broncos, if I'm any team in the AFC, this receiving core really doesn't scare me without Hollywood Brown. So without Hollywood Brown, they're definitely not a top 10 receiving core. There are a hell of a lot better receiving cores than them. Hell, there's probably 4 of them in the NFC North alone that are better than the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the Bears, Packers, Vikings, and the Detroit Lions. Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs receiver room is pretty unknown, right? It's pretty unknown, and it reminds me a lot of the Buffalo Bills receiving core room right now. There is a lot of what ifs, you know? What if Sky Moore can keep on the trajectory that he is? What if McCole Hardman can catch a ball, right? What if Justin Ross can be that speedster that we've all been wanting? What if Xavier Worthy is half as good as he was in college? I don't think he was very good in college, but what if, right? It's a bunch of what ifs. What ifs, what ifs, what ifs. So is the Kansas City Chiefs receiver room a top 10? No, they are not. This is in no way. They are not a top 10 receiving core in the NFL. So with that being said, there have been names floating out there that are free agents, that are potential trade bait pieces, right? We talked about Michael Thomas yesterday. Could Michael Thomas come into the Kansas City Chiefs locker room and be an instant impact? He could. He could. If he was willing to understand his role, it would be a number 3 receiver at best, probably. Could a player like Brandon Ayuk come in and be a solid number 2? He could, if he knows his role. Could Juju come in after being released by the New England Patriots last week? Could he come in and be a missing piece and kind of up the value a little bit? He could. As the receiver core is not a top 10 receiving core, we have to put a caveat on it. We have to put a caveat on it because the Kansas City Chiefs do have the best system in the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs do have the best quarterback in the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs have the best system and quarterback duo marriage, making this receiver core 10 times better. 10 times better. So as on paper, strictly just receiver core, they're probably 16th ranked. Let's just be honest. But you add Patrick Mahomes into that mix, throwing them the ball, they're a top 8, top 9 receiving core. Patrick Mahomes elevates the play of every player around him. Patrick Mahomes is that guy. Yes, Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback, but the system is built perfect for Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes is built perfect for that system, and therefore it elevates the play of everybody else. So if you simply give me Rashid Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Justin Watson, Sky Moore on a sheet of paper saying rate these guys in the NFL versus St. Brown, Jameson Williams, rank me against those other guys, they're not top 10. But Patrick Mahomes is into the mix. Slow it down, baby. Let's go. Go to the moon, baby. So where and away, guys, are the Kansas City Chiefs a top 10 receiving core in the NFL? John, with the hatred right off the bat, says no effing way. There is no way they're a top 10 receiver core. I agree. But add Patrick Mahomes in there? Ugh. James Chamberlain says no way. They're not a top 10 receiving core either. No way, Jose. Boogie Guy, number 5, Mumbo, number 5, says, hey, mate. What's up, Boogie? Hope you're having a grand old day, man. Grand old day. He says, I'm more of a football guy, not American football. I think it's quite violent. So Boogie must be from Europe, liking him some soccer. Here in America, Boogie, we like us some soccer. just every 3 to 4 years. Then it kind of gets kicked off to the wayside again. John says again, no fucking way. No effing way are the Kansas City Chiefs a top 10 receiving core, even with Patrick Mahomes. Casey says they need CD or Ayuk. If the Kansas City Chiefs were to add a receiver like CeeDee Lamb, they would be a top 5 receiving core instantly. Instantly. Even if they got rid of, because I'm sure if this trade were to happen with the Dallas Cowboys, which is far and few between, probably not going to happen, but let's think hypothetically here. Let's put on our imaginary caps. Let's get on our Blues Clues notebook here. The Kansas City Chiefs would have to give up Rashee Rice, more than likely, to get CeeDee Lamb. So now you're looking at CeeDee Lamb, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, Justin Watson, Sky Moore. CeeDee Lamb, the name alone, probably gives you top 5, right? At least top 6. Add him with Patrick Mahomes and the speed of Xavier Worthy and the possession receiver of Marquise Brown that also has speed. Hell yeah, they would be a top 10 team then. Or even with Ayuk. See, Ayuk's kind of like the wild card. I do think Ayuk is a good receiver. If he were to play on the Kansas City Chiefs, if he were to play on the Cowboys or the Vikings or the Dolphins, right, he would be a 1,500-yard receiver. But I feel that Brandon Ayuk is a receiver like Antonio Brown, like Juju. They cannot be that true number 1. They need the Batman to the Robin, right? And if Ayuk were to come to the Kansas City Chiefs, They again would probably be giving up Rashee Rice in a trade. Is Hollywood Brown able to make Brandon Ayuk that guy? Is Xavier Worthy able to make that guy, right? Like a 1A, 1B. But yeah, Ayuk or CD would definitely be great on the Kansas City Chiefs. No question about it. No question about it. James says, and pick up Juju and Thomas for nothing. Would you want to add both of those guys, though? If you are the Kansas City Chiefs and you have Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown could potentially miss a game or 2. He should be back for most of the season. Xavier Worthy, a big what if. Justin Watson's kind of long in the tooth. Sky Moore, still young, still projecting. Tooney, who really knows what he's going to do. McCole Hardman's kind of an afterthought, special teams guy. Justin Ross is going to be a special teams guy. If you were to pick up Juju and or Michael Thomas, who do you let go? Because I feel like if you go out and get a Juju and a Michael Thomas, you are wanting them to play significant time on your roster. Do you then cut McCole Hardman that just re-signed for a $9 million deal? Do you cut Justin Ross that you guys picked up in free agency last season? Do you cut Justin Watson that you guys signed a couple years ago? Do you cut Sky Moore that you just drafted? There's got to be an odd man out, and it's going to be a name that many Kansas City Chiefs fans do not want to see go. Sky Moore, Justin Ross, McCole Hardman. They don't want to see them go. James says, yep, you'd pick them up for nothing, and they both can be cut without too much damage. If they were to pick up these said receivers, Michael Thomas and or Juju Smith-Schuster, I think they would have already did it. Because we're going into week 2 preseason, which starts tonight, right? Second game for most, third game for the Bears and the Texans. You would think they would have already made their way onto the team. Now, if Hollywood Brown does need some type of surgery, whether it be this surgery or that surgery to repair that shoulder, dislocated shoulder. Usually it's a collarbone issue, right? It just the joint's a little loose or whatever. They tighten it up. Bada bing, bada boom. You're good to go in about 8 weeks. If he ends up needing surgery, I could see going out and getting Michael Thomas or Juju. But otherwise, I'll be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Speaking of I'm good, Tyreek Hill says he is the fastest man in the world and Noah Lyles would not have a chance against him. Guys, Tyreek Hill was on the NFL channel in the Inside Training Camp Monday or Tuesday, and he basically called out Noah Lyles saying that he would beat him in a 100-meter dash and to stop playing this fake COVID card thing. You weren't really sick at all, man. That is just an excuse. So when we hear this, we got to ask the question, where, no way, guys, do you think Tyreek Hill is the fastest man on the United States? Guys, Tyreek Hill is a very shifty, very fast individual. Last season, he was the third fastest man tracked in a NFL game. I believe he got up to like 22.2 miles an hour. There were a couple others that were 22.8 and 22.9 respectively. Very, very fast. Still very, very, very fast. This is with shoulder pads on, helmet, carrying the ball, and who knows how exhausted you were at that particular time. Now, I don't question Tyreek Hill being fast. I don't question Tyreek Hill potentially pushing Noah Lyles to the brink of potentially beating him. But there is a reason why Noah Lyles has been deemed the fastest man in the world. There's a reason why Lyles is on the Olympic team. There's a reason why, even though he was sick or COVID or whatever you want to call it, he still ended up in third place and lost by like, 2 10s or 2 100s or whatever it was. He's fast. But Xavier Worthy is probably faster than Tyreek Hill. Didn't Xavier Worthy run a 4.1 40-yard dash? I don't think Tyreek Hill has broken 4.3, has he? 4.42 maybe. I'm not saying that's slow. Don't get it twisted. My fastest 40 time was a 4.54. He's damn near half second faster than me. That's fast. I thought I was fast. He's a hell of a lot faster. I get it. But there is no way in God's green earth that Tyreek Hill is beating Noah Lyles. There's absolutely no way. No way. And James says if they were wearing pads, Hill might get him. Yeah. And Casey Morgan says, I don't know if he's that fast anymore. If he would have had the combine record. Very, very true. Very, very true. James says, damn, Buck, you're a 4.5. Big man, fast as fuck. So when I ran my fastest 40-yard time, I was 225 pounds, 230 pounds, 6'3", right? Sophomore in college. I was still putting on those dollar bills, y'all. I mean, weight. Yeah, weight. I was still putting on the weight. When I got up to 245, which was my playing weight, my biggest playing weight, I dropped down like 4.7. I was like, this isn't going to work. So dropped back down to 230 was my playing weight, and about 4.5, 4.6 was like my game speed. I mean, I thought I was fast. So I had game speed, right? I may have ran a 4.5 without a shoulder pads and a helmet on, but I translated that 4.5 speed into game time speed. That's what a lot of people don't do. Yeah, you're fast. Yeah, you're fast, but do that on like on the field. Casey says, I'm faster than Hill when I have Taco Bell and trying to get to the bathroom. Oh, Casey, you are not a pigskin pundit, but I shared a video on the pigskin pundit feed last week. No, KAC, you are a pigskin pundit. My fault. I shared that video. There was a guy at work, or I'm assuming it was a guy, walking down the aisle, and there's little drops of poop all the way down the aisle, all the way to the bathroom. Like, what? What is going on? What is going on? I don't know what was going on. But guys, as we continue our trek across the NFC South, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the last team to talk about. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers shocked a lot of people last season. But if you would have been listening to the Man Hour, which you guys should have been, a lot of y'all thought I was crazy when I said the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the real deal. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to shock some people. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win a playoff game or two. Yes, they did make it to the playoffs last season with a 9-8 record. Yes, they did win a playoff game over the Philadelphia Eagles in the wild card round. Dominated the Philadelphia Eagles 32-9. But then they went to Detroit in the divisional round, ultimately lost that game 31-23. Baker Mayfield balled out all last season, 2023, earned himself a top 10 quarterback ranking, in my opinion. I'm going to be releasing those tomorrow, so you guys can debate about those all you want, but I think Baker Mayfield is a top 10 quarterback, and he got paid very, very well by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This offseason, they had some retirements. Jetson has finally left, and they've added some more key pieces to that offense, a.k.a. Gregory. But Gregory has yet to report to camp. Gregory has yet to set foot on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster. Gregory has yet to done anything for the Bucs this season. So when we look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys, there is one thing that I want to talk about. We talked about this Monday or Tuesday or what. This week's running together. This week's been crazy. But Haason Reddick said he wants out of New York. Reddick says, yeah, I know I was traded here in April and I said I want to be here for a long time, but right now the Jets are playing hardball. The Jets say, you want a contract? You come to camp. Reddick's like, no, I want a contract before I come to camp. Before this trade with the Philadelphia Eagles to the New York Jets for Haason Reddick and a third-round pick, the Buccaneers were in big play to get Haason Reddick. They wanted that edge rusher. They wanted that 11-plus sacks the last 4 seasons. They wanted that 16 sacks from 2022. They wanted the 11.5 sacks from last season. They wanted that. Ultimately, the Jets got him. But now, Haason Reddick wants out. Gregory has yet to set foot on a Tampa Bay Buccaneers field. So this is a must-have for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If the Buccaneers want to repeat success this season, if they want a chance to go to the NFC Championship game with Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin and the rest of those boys, they need a player like Reddick. Guys, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to go out and call the New York Jets right now and say, what do you want for a Reddick? And I bet you all the Jets want is just that third-round pick. Not even this year's 2025 draft pick. It's a 2026 third-round conditional draft pick. That's probably all they want back. And really, all Reddick run is a 4-year deal. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the cap space to sign him right now. They have $22.5 million in free cap space right now to sign Reddick. They can make that all into guaranteed money. It's only a $700,000 hit on the book next season. Yes, I know next season they're about $7 million over the cap as of right now. Restructure a couple deals, bada bing, bada boom. You got your Reddick for 4 years. That's all he wants. That is all he wants. And if the Buccaneers can sign Reddick right now, get him up to speed, get him to camp, get him tormenting quarterbacks in the South, James might be exactly right. James says, I got the Bucs sweeping the NFC East en route to winning the NFC South. And if the Buccaneers sign Reddick, the Bucs could sweep the East, the NFC East. The Bucs could sweep the NFC South. The Bucs can win a lot of football games if they get Reddick right here, right now. But another big thing that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are doing this offseason, this preseason, is not playing their starters. Todd Bowles has kind of been a head-scratching head coach for me ever since Bruce Arians has left. At first, I thought it was a great hire. Nice yin and yang there, right? Bruce Arians was very in-your-face, call yourself out, right? Would put Tom Brady on blast play after play, or week after week after week. Insert Todd Bowles, kind of it's all right, buddy. Come on. So far this offseason, the offensive line has yet to play any live snaps. In a joint practice, which they have joint practice this week with the Jacksonville Jaguars, You have to play in a preseason game. All 5 of them have played very, very few reps. Every time I watch camp or their inter-squad scrimmages or joint practices, I don't see all 5 offensive linemen starting there at the same time. They need to figure themselves out right now. Todd Bowles, I understand you want to keep your team healthy. I understand injuries have plagued the offensive line the last couple seasons, but you need to understand this. Rashad White, Bucky Irving, Chase Edmonds need to run behind a good offensive line. They need to understand how your offensive line works. Baker Mayfield is a top 10 quarterback. You need to figure out how he is going to react with this newly formed offensive line. Need to figure it out. So with that being said, guys, how do you guys think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be in 2024? I think they're going to be pretty good. Matter of fact, I think they're going to be really good, and I think it starts week 1 when they play the Washington Commanders. Now, in years past, Todd Bowles has had problems against rookie quarterbacks and mobile quarterbacks, and guess what he plays week number 1? It is a rookie quarterback and a mobile quarterback in Jalen Daniels. I do think this is a competitive game. I do think it is a nice back and forth game. I think that Jalen Daniels is going to really shock some people week 1, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the win week 1, moving them to 1-0. And Nathan T, right off the bat, says Baker Mayfield is not a top 10 quarterback. He's just a fish. Nathan, Baker Mayfield is a top 10 quarterback. Baker Mayfield may even break into the top 5 quarterback by the end of the year. Baker Mayfield is that dog, Nathan. Deal with it. Week number 2. Divisional game rematch at Ford Field. It is time to get those dollar bills, yo, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to week 2 to play the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions will still be pretty good this season, but I think they're pretty much overhyped. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of hype around Detroit right now. Winners of the NFC North, Super Bowl representatives, this, 13, 14, 15 wins. Whoever you talk to, right? Hell, my man, even Luke G, the most realistic Lion fans that I know, still has them at 12 wins. Slow it down, baby. The Detroit Lions are going to come crashing back down to reality this season. And it starts week 2 when the Buccaneers go into Ford Field and they whoop that ass. Amon-Ra St. Brown seems to be hated by a lot of his teammates right now. We saw that fight. It was the Giants versus Lions, and St. Brown punched the quarterback, or their cornerback, I should say, and he got beat up, and nobody was there to help to defend him. Well, that's a little chink in the armor there. You pick on St. Brown, you get underneath the skin, that's a win. And I think that is what the Buccaneers do week number 2, start season off 2-0. Week number 3. The mighty Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos come into town. That's a win. That's a win. Week number 4. When you start the season off, 3 of your first 4 games are at home. You better win those games. You better start out hot. You better start fast and hot. The Eagles come into town. Jalen Hurts. They're still trying to figure themselves out come week 4. Are we going to give Saquon Barkley the ball 50 times a game? Or are we going to let Jalen Waddle and A.J. Brown earn their dollar bills, yo? We've heard rumors of Jalen Hurts kind of going rogue and changing plays and whatnot. Has that been fixed? Another new offensive coordinator, another new defensive coordinator. I think it's too much. I think the Buccaneers win this week 4 game over the Philadelphia Eagles, giving them a 4-0 start. Week number 5. We talked about this, on Monday. I think the Atlanta Falcons do upset the Bucs come week 5. It is a close game. It is a competitive game, especially since the Falcons just traded for Judon. Going to have a nice pass rush coming from the outside. He had 22.5 sacks in 2 seasons, right? Falcons are going to be much improved now, but they lose to the Falcons. Week number 6, back on the road again to the Big Easy to take on Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints. I think they beat the Saints. And it is a competitive game. It is a competitive game, but I think they beat the Saints. Nathan says somebody salt fees from the playoffs last year. Go Lions. The only ones that should be salty are Detroit Lions fans for dropping that pass, but we digress. Week number 7, Monday Night Football. Baltimore Ravens come down to Tampa Bay to take on Baker Mayfield. The Baltimore Ravens know Baker Mayfield really, really well from his days back in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield wants to ball out on this game. Baker Mayfield wants to show the whole world that the Cleveland Browns messed up when they let him go. When they traded him to Carolina, right? And then he went to the Rams, and then he went here, and then finally he's in Tampa. Guys, the Buccaneers are a really, really good team this year, and right now they are really, really hot. They beat the Ravens 17-10, close game, but they win on Monday Night Football, week number 8. They revenged the loss versus the Falcons earlier in week 5. Falcons come into town kind of cocky, kind of a little arrogant. Boom, Bucs win this game. Week number 9. We have not seen the Buccaneers play a lot of bad football to this point. We have not seen the Buccaneers really show any weakness in their game whatsoever. We haven't seen the Buccaneers really even look like they can be beat. Yes, they lost to the Falcons earlier, but that's a division game. Shit happens when you party naked. But this week 9 game, I think the Kansas City Chiefs show the Buccaneers exactly what playing on primetime football in Arrowhead is all about. The Kansas City Chiefs, my Kansas City Chiefs, whoop the Buccaneers' ass Monday Night Football week 9, giving the Bucs 3 losses in a row. 3 losses on the year so far. But things get a little bit easier for the Bucs after this week 10 game. I think they beat the 49ers at home. 49ers always struggle mid-season. Give them a bye week 11. But week 13 on, the Buccaneers' schedule gets pretty easy. They beat the Giants. They lose to the Panthers, actually. I do have them losing to the Panthers. I think they overlooked the Panthers. But then they beat the Raiders. They beat the Chargers. But then this Week 16 matchup. This Week 16 matchup is what it's all about. Circle this game on the calendar right now, guys. What is this? This is Christmas Day. The week after Christmas, right? Circle this game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to Dallas Cowboys. This is a potential NFC Championship game preview right here. Now, Mike McCarthy has been here, done that. When you are playing a potential team that you're going to play in the playoffs, he knows what to do. But the Dallas Cowboys do beat Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers week 6. Week 17, the Buccaneers revenge the loss versus the Carolina Panthers, but then they ultimately lose week 18 to the New Orleans Saints. The Saints ultimately win the division by winning this game, giving the Buccaneers a 12-5 record. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going 12-5 this season after a 9-8 season last year. I think keeping Mike Evans and Chris Godwin together, adding some depth to the offensive line, has definitely improved their team for 3 wins improvement. Also, what helps their 3 wins improvement is playing teams like the Raiders and the Chargers and the Giants and the Broncos. All very, very winnable games. The Buccaneers have a very winnable schedule. Some of their toughest games, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the 49ers, 2 of those 3 are at home. Ravens and 49ers are both home games. The Chiefs, Monday night primetime game on the road. But let me know, guys. 12-5. Too high, too low, or just right? See you guys tomorrow.